Okay, so you are a university student, you just finished school, a fresh graduate. So let's say you are hoping to get employed after this place. Now you get to the job market and that is not the case. What should be the way forward?
Well, I think already it must be obvious to everyone that looking at the competitive nature of getting jobs and all that, you must have something extra, from the ordinary person. So if you are going out there and then you are looking at the service sector where most graduates, if you ask them what they want to do, they are looking at an office condition where they go to work from 8 and close at 5. And if you are looking at that kind of situation, because of how choked the area is, you must offer, skills that are beyond the ordinary to make someone take you, to make someone be willing to create space for you. So that's one thing that must be had in mind. And then you must develop your other potentials beyond the course you are doing in the university. I mean, I had very good friends in political science class, for example. My good friend Kuko Asante, political science and English, I think all the same thing. All these my friends, they have graduated a year ahead of me, are journalists. They never studied journalism. But this is something they practice and learn here, a skill they developed here, So people must look at all those other avenues of making themselves important, to employers. That's the way you break barriers. And then entrepreneurship is also there. Yes, it comes with a lot of difficulties and it's not for everyone.
Yes.
Myself, I wouldn't jump into entrepreneurship.
Yes.
But you must go in ready, knowing that there are ups and downs. And consistency is what pays. If you are very consistent with it, you do very well. Vandal, Chief Rituals, is doing very well with what he does, with his craft. He makes, interior decor and all that out of materials you wouldn't imagine, car ties and all that. How beautifully he does it. You understand?
Yes.
You can see my friend Worship doing very well with his waste recycling projects and stuff. Those are things that are beyond what we study over here. What that should tell us, as the way forward, even as a country, is that we must be able to make the development of these skills intricate in our education sector. I always say this, when I came in level, I think 200, I was grossly disappointed when required courses, University of Ghana required courses, and I'm studying things that do not add up anything different from the course I'm reading. You understand? Critical thinking skills and all these things, yes, to the extent that they are very necessary. These are things that are, somehow inextricable from the major courses you do. If you are doing political science and all that and you can't critically analyze things, then you won't survive in that class. So it's already innate and all that. Then I took a course known as Appropriate Technology, also is Appropriate Technology for Development of Africa or something. When I took Aprotech, I was expecting that I was going to learn about technology, how we can develop it, existing ones, how we can improve upon them, etc. What I saw is they were teaching us about Africanism, who is a black and all that. And then when we're done, the only thing close to technology in the course was how to collect rainwater on the roof and all these things. These things are very backward. They are very, very backward. Because I don't know, I don't want to believe that the height of ambition in terms of water, conservation of water and all those things, I don't want to believe that's the height of our ambition. So if we are taking that kind of course in the University of Ghana as a required course, I feel grossly disappointed.
I've seen students who made this, same arguments of saying the UGRCs or the HEP courses do not really have any relevance.
No, they don't have any relevance. If you say a required course, for example, and I come, and aside from my course and all that, and then even if you teach me an international language, it makes more meaning. You understand? You understand? If you teach us other soft skills,
IT,
it makes more sense. But you tell us heck, and then Which ones again do we do? You know.
It's resources.
Yeah, all
I
those
think
things.
academic writing is a good course.
Yes, because for the discourse,
yes,
you are unable to do anything without academic writing.
Yes.
That is expected of you. How you should present your works and all that.
Very
Fine, in line, okay. But I mean, even numeracy skills, for example, I don't want to sit in the numeracy skills class. I always avoided it. The reason why I've always avoided it is that I have learned the basic mathematics, which I feel, which is required for me to get to this level of my life. I don't want to deal with mathematics of academic nature again, for example. Then you ask me to do numeracy skills, for example, here. You make it sort of compulsory.
Yes.
It will contribute nothing to me. Someone who wants to do mathematics and is interested, that's where he wants to specialize and all, will go there. So why, and they even make that a criteria for judging if you are a good student. I mean, at this point in my life, I know very well I will not be a mathematician or anything related. So if you judge my abilities on the basis of that, you are wasting my time.
I've seen students argue that basically when you come to the University of Ghana, instead of them helping you to build, maybe let's say your GPA is required to help you study outside, they kill your GPA with these irrelevant courses, numeracy skills, and dance, and all these courses. They
don't add anything. And then beyond that, even how are we trained in our education sector? What do? They force us to chew, pour, and all those things. There's something I developed at a point in terms of how I was dealing with the University of Ghana and learning over here. At the beginning of the semester, I look at the course outline. And look at the course outline. For every topic, there are learning objectives. Okay, that are over there. This is a trick. Any student who learns it will be able to pass their exams even if they don't go fully to class and all that. You look at the lesson objectives. Those are the questions that will come in exam. At the end of this lesson, the student should be able to
do this.
That part. That's the exam. Sieve every other thing out of it, you get A. I promise you. Apart from that, take PASCO. Solve the past question, become consistent with it. Those past questions will probably repeat in different words. The phraseology will change. I know that. So you don't train minds. You don't train minds. You don't prepare people for life even. That's what the system does. That's what the system does. And beyond academics, you look at the University of Ghana population. What percentage of the population goes beyond what we do in terms of academic to do anything extracurricular that develops their person?
So are you calling on the government to...
The system should be overhauled. Yes. The system should be overhauled. From probably...
Now we have seen difficulties of how they try to change it at the basic level and all the difficulties that are coming up. Do you think it can be done in the upper levels?
In fact, the change must start from there. You don't call a grown-up dog, with long teeth, and you are now naming it Jack. It won't respond. So the change should begin from the basic level, which of course they've started. I must confess I have not made an assessment of it because the only assessment I made the last time was if they had the needed resources
and it is not.
It's not there. So we have a big headache to deal with, and Africa, it has to first change with the mindset, and we must first develop an African identity. Close our markets where we need to close them, work together where we need to work together. Apart from that, Charlie.
Now there is this attitude of people trying to tag anything bad to an African.
Yes.
I don't know the number of times you have seen somebody, something goes bad, and he says he's an African, that's why. It seems to me that we do not respect and accept ourselves as distinct people, and that is the basis of our problem.
It all goes down to your global relevance. Let me tell you something. Prior to the Vietnam War and all that, Asians were also undermined and discriminated against, mistreated like the way blacks are. I can tell you that the Chinese were also, the West sees themselves in quote as better as that. Today, undermine the Chinese because they've gained global relevance. They've gained global dominance. They know the direction they wanted to go and they've stuck to it. That is why, I mean, I am pro-democracy, fine. But if I see people criticize the Chinese communist regime, I see them to be a bit unserious. Yes, there are excesses that comes with communism. If a one-party states want to maintain the surveillance of people and all that. But they've clearly demonstrated that when it comes to the welfare of their people, when it comes to the development of their country, when it comes to expressing Chinese nationalism, they know where they are heading to. We can see the same thing in Korea. They know where they are heading to. But what is the Ghanaian sense of expressing nationalism? What is our pursuit? What is our direction as a country? What do we want to achieve? Go to town, okay? Sample out the average Ghanaian. Take 100 of them and ask them the direction of the country, where they think we are headed. They won't be able to tell you. Go to the streets of Beijing, go to the streets of Taiwan, wherever. Take out Chinese people and ask them what's the direction of the country. When you get to an airport in China, if you get to the airport in Dubai, for example, the UAE, you will see the directions they want to pursue in books, in the statements and utterances of their leaders, pasted all over. Everyone knows the direction they are going, what they want. We don't have that here. It's a spoiled system. Create, loot and share. The one who is in charge, shares the spoils of victory among their followers.
What should be the way forward in all this?
I think I've already touched on the way forward several. Reform, we need sense of unity, a strong continental market, not the continental free trade area. Yes, it has its advantage. It won't do enough. Believe me, it won't do enough. I'm not being a prophet of doom, but I've studied the EU, what it does, their policies, everything. I've studied the African continental trade and its objectives and all that. It won't do anything close to what the EU is doing. If you're unable to even match up with existing standards of continental markets and all that, you are not solving any problem. So we need that. We need to overhaul our educational system, train minds to be entrepreneurial. We need to develop our technology and all that. Apart from all these things, the only other thing that can save this continent is a situation where we make a discovery that is non-existent at the moment. We make a discovery of something that is so relevant to the rest of the world, which is non-existent at the moment, which becomes a bargaining chip for us.
Are we training minds for this purpose?
I don't see us doing that, but it's the only way. And that discovery can be in the form of technology, it can be in the form of a natural resource or something that becomes so important. But those things are left to chance and nature too much. The most vital part is deliberate human action, which we must start taking.
Right. Thank you very much. And that has been a very insightful conversation with the General Secretary of the National Union of Ghana Students. He has called on the governments of Africa to revise the educational system. We should be united as a continent and we should stand for what we want and we should have an identity, and it is only through that we can end the unemployment situation. He has also called on graduates, students, everybody should get to have a skill that aside your degree that you are pursuing, you should be able to offer something extraordinary, and it is only then that you can get the employment that is non-existent that we are all searching for. Right. Thank you very much for watching, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.